Here we have the conference center, not to be mistaken for the great and spacious building.
I really would like to ride my scooter around on that. Hey, what's up guys? It's Ex-Mormon here, and I just want to talk a little bit today about my experience in visiting Temple Square for the first time since being ex-Mormon. So recently, Jared and I went to visit Salt Lake to see the Book of Mormon musical. You can actually watch our video of our reaction and thoughts about that musical. I'll put the link in the description below. But while we were there, we also decided to visit Temple Square because why not? We made it to Temple Square.
I like coming back here because I come here every single time I'm in Salt Lake, and it's a good way to kind of gauge my progress as a person, I guess, because I'll remember how it made me feel last time due to where I was, and yeah.
Since leaving the church, I feel like I never know what moment to say, like, I actually left, like, because I felt like I was just so back and forth for so long. I will say since leaving, I've gone to church several times because of, family stuff or whatever. And the further I get away from it, the less triggered I get when I go to church. Like, I feel like for a long time, going to church was really painful, and it would, like, hurt me to sit through it, and things they would say, and I would just get very upset. I think that's a pretty common reaction, honestly, for, like, leaving pretty freshly. Anyway, so in my mind, I didn't think that going to Temple Square would be, like, anything different than, like, going to church, which I've done several times and was, like, not a big deal. But, so we walked into Temple Square, and it was just me and Jared, and we immediately, like, went into one of the visitor centers, and it was, like, I took 3 steps into the visitor center, and then I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be really emotional. Which I did not anticipate at all. Like, in my head, I wasn't thinking, like, oh, this is gonna be a doozy. But it was. It was a doozy. So we walked in, and I was like, Jared, I can't even stay in here. Like, I was just getting very, like, upset and very angry. So, like, I, like, left almost, like, immediately upon walking in, and I went out into the, like, courtyard area, and I was just, like, walking around a little bit, and I was, like, I was just, like, feeling it. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but I was just feeling very angry and very upset. And seeing all the missionaries and stuff walking around in Temple Square, there's so many, was making me even more angry because I can't help but feel like, like they don't have any idea, like, half the information that I know about this church, and, like, would they still be doing this if they did, and feeling frustrated, feeling angry, feeling hurt. Anyway, so, like, getting real with you for a second here, like, I went and I sat on a bench alone for a little bit, and I was, like, praying because, like, being there, like, every time up until this time that I've gone to Salt Lake and gone to Temple Square, it was, like, a cool spiritual experience of, like, yeah, like, church is true, look at all these other people that believe it too, like, this is so cool. And anyway, so it was always, like, a spiritually uplifting thing, and this time I was just feeling like, man, like, what is going on? So I was praying, and I was like, God, if I'm wrong, like, I just want to say I'm sorry. Like, if I really effed this up, And then I said, like, I'm sorry. I remember I used the word betray. I said, I'm sorry if I betrayed you. And then that, like, triggered me even worse, because then I got really mad. And I was like, wait a second, like, no, I didn't do anything wrong. And I got, so that's when things started to get explosive. And I was like, you know what? Like, no, I did not do anything wrong. If this church is true, then God betrayed me. I did not betray him. And that was like, so then I was just very mad. Very mad. Because it's true. It's like, if the church is true and all this really unsettling church history is also true, then God is kind of a jerk. And sorry, I don't mean any disrespect to anyone who's Mormon and loves this church and stuff, but seriously, like, there's just some stuff that in my mind I don't understand how to explain any other way. So I, like, am freaking out, right? And I'm just, like, trying to work through it. And I even took some vlogging, so maybe I'll put that in here. So we were just in the visitor center for like 3 seconds, and I could feel myself getting very upset. So I decided to come back outside. I didn't think this would be hard to do, but it makes sense why it's hard, because this place meant a lot to me, and now it's different. I don't know, my heart is hurting, and I see those missionaries and I just think of how I felt, and I'm like, this is just hard. This is not that fun. This is good for me though. So I'm still at Temple Square, and I've been just trying to process all of the emotions that are coming up, and just feeling a lot of anger. And I was like saying like a prayer, you know, and I was like, God, I don't know, because there's anger, there's guilt, there's, you know, there's always that part of me that's like, I don't know if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. Anyway, and I was praying, I'm like, God, I'm sorry if I'm wrong, like, I'm sorry if I betrayed you. And then I was thinking, like, but damn it, like, I feel very betrayed. Yeah, I feel like betrayed by God, which I know it's not like God's fault, but I guess, I don't know, in my mind there's not really a separation, maybe. I just feel betrayed because it's like, this church meant everything to me. It was my whole life, my whole identity, my whole community, my whole family. And it's like, how do you just walk away from that? Like, you don't just walk away from that. Like, it F's you up when you try to walk away from that. And I am just angry that there will always be a separation between me and my community I grew up with, because we believe different things. And I never wanted to not believe. That was never something I even wanted. It's not like I was like, yeah, alcohol sounds way better than being Mormon. And then like tried to convince myself, like, it's not like that at all. It's like, I wanted it to be true. And honestly, I think there's a part of me that still wants it to be true. I want this place to be special. And it's not. I don't know. It just hurts being here. It's just hard. I didn't think about this having emotional repercussions for me, but this is the first time being here since leaving. Going to church doesn't even make me feel this way. I don't know why this place does, but I think it's just representative of, I don't know, I guess just every time I've come here in my life, it's been a special spiritual thing, a special occasion. So maybe that's why. I don't know. I don't know. Guess I've just got more healing to do, which I guess makes sense. I guess that's it for now. I think the reason it was so triggering for me is because of how it's just like this monument to the church and to the early pioneers and to, you know, all these people that contributed to creating the church. And I'm just like, I cannot appreciate what they did because of how much I feel like it has tortured me. Like, I feel like the last couple years of my life have been agony, and it has been because of this church. And it just hurts, you know, and especially because I felt like the church gave me a lot of happiness and peace growing up. So to feel hurt by that is like the ultimate betrayal. So I was sitting there and I was thinking, like, how is it that you can even walk away from something like this? Like, how is it even possible? And I was like, it's not. Like, the way this church builds people, the way it creates these family dynamics that are so toxic, like you cannot just walk away from it. You like stumble away. You stumble away from the church, and then you fall and you bleed out. And I know that might sound dramatic, but that's just how it feels when you're in the thick of it and you feel like you've had the truth your whole life and then it's taken from you. It is completely, horribly painful and lonely. And it's like the worst part of it all is that, like, my family will never see me the same. And, you know, I can't put words in their mouth, but I know how I viewed people who left the church. And it's, you know, they're deceived or they're on the wrong path or whatever. And I'm not saying that's everyone's view, but I can't help but feeling like it sucks that my family might not ever think I'm a good person because of leaving this church. And it's just hard to deal with that. And even if they do think I'm a good person despite leaving the church, they still will think I'd be a better person if I was in the church. Just being honest. And that hurts and it sucks and so I have this like breakdown and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pull myself together and we're gonna walk around more. So Jared and I start walking around more, and the more I see, I just get even more upset. Because, like, I see all these statues and monuments having to do with Joseph Smith, and I cannot help but just be infuriated by it. Because obviously I don't think that these things being presented are true. And then the thing that makes me mad is for the people that do believe that it's true, they're trapped in this way of thinking, and this way of thinking about me. I'm very selfish. This is all about me. So the longer I'm here, the more angry I am getting. And this is stupid. It's stupid that this has caused me immense pain over the last couple years of my life, and that it will continue to do so. It's stupid that my family will never see me the way that I want them to.
Where are you visiting from?
And it's just a bunch of stupid. Yeah, so it was very emotional. I was very I don't know, I was processing a lot, and I just tried to let myself, because it's like, what can you do? Like, you got to process these things, and you got to work through it for it to get better. So, yeah, I don't know, I just kind of walked around and cussed a lot under my breath, and I was just like, this sucks. I don't know. I just wanted to share that with you guys because I just want to be real and tell you guys what it's really like. I feel like if I could get Mormons to understand anything that I wish I could have understood, like as when I was a Mormon, is how hard it is leaving the church and how lonely it is and how terrifying it is. Because so often it's like so many assumptions are wrong, and I don't know. Whenever I thought of someone leaving the church, I wanted to make it about me. Like when I was Mormon, like, oh, they're leaving. Like, how could they do that? And like, this is hurtful to me that they would leave God's church or whatever. But it's like, I never stopped to think like, wow, that must be really hard on that person. Like, if they really believe the church isn't true. But I could never really see that perspective from the other side. And now I feel like I know both perspectives really well, so I feel like I'm just more compassionate because of that. So yeah, thank you guys for letting me share this with you. Like, I want to be vulnerable with you guys and share it like it is because, I mean, it's less lonely if we do it together, right? I also in this video just wanted to say thank you. So many of you have reached out to me and been so supportive and kind and uplifting and let me know like what has helped you from this channel, and all of that has been so cool to have because putting this channel out there has been one of the hardest things I've ever done in my entire life, but it has been one of the most rewarding too. So thank you to everyone who has subscribed, commented, who has supported my channel in any way. Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Please comment below about your moments of being triggered so that we can all have solidarity together. And don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.